broadcasters today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio no pictures live stream. Please listen to this presentation as you would a radio broadcast as you drive along in your car, your truck, or on public transport. In this essay, I'd like to talk about the UK government, a Labor Party government that recently took office about 6 weeks ago at a general election. And have they come out of the ideological door? Have they come out swinging or what? So let's just have a little look at them. Now, you can't, since the globalists took over Western governments, you can't say the standard of politician has been very high, and they don't represent the people anymore. They're there just to do the globalist bidding, and the globalists take the view that people who can most easily relate to the populace, as in, they're all idiots type thing, then it's much easier for them to sell the globalist message, if you will, or enforce it or implement it. It would be for true leaders capable of independent thought. And there's something you could not accuse the Labor Party of in the UK at the moment, is the ability to engage in independent thought. Far from it. I'm just listening to some of I think her name's Jess Phillips, but just listening to a recent interview she did, you could have sworn that she was maybe a member of the junior high school debating team. That would be about the standard of her discourse. So she's a 15-year-old radicalized girl who's had a disappointing upbringing and has embraced the Marxist thing of the reason that you've had a disappointing upbringing, or you're not happy with your lot in life, is because those damn evil people that took it from you. It's them. You have to get back at them. It's all those straight white males. They're the ones. It's them that did it. Let's go get them. And so it was incredible. I mean, that this person could be anything other than a cashier at an outer suburban grocery store is. I mean, wow! You just can't conceive that someone that, in my opinion, someone that stupid and that childlike could be have any responsible position in any capacity. But there you go. That's what it's like at the moment. But I just want to look at one of the more prominent female politicians in the Labor Party, who, if misandry is a qualification, the hatred of men, then she's definitely got that, but not much else as far as I can tell. So let's have a little look at this woman, who could be representative, by the way, of most of the women in the Labor Party. So I'm not singling her out necessarily, but now the parents were both education union hacks. So steeped in leftist union attitudes, because the education unions are like cutting edge of Marxist leftist sort of type thought. And so both the parents are in that, jobs for life and can't ever be fired. One of them, or both of them actually, one in particular was also a radical environmental activist. And we're talking about the Vietnam era, ban the bomb and all this sort of thing. Now she's an ordinary student, really going nowhere, and yet suddenly she turns into a brilliant student in the last year of high school and wins scholarships and places at Ivy League universities, not only in the United Kingdom but internationally. Prestigious Ivy League universities. They're meant to be the creme de la creme of clever people. Now, bright and high IQ, you could not describe this woman as falling to that category even slightly. So how did she get these dream postings or dream positions in Ivy League universities when she's such a low IQ ordinary student? On what basis did she get those? This seems like it's some internationally organized sort of arrangement. She's been singled out of her. We can use her. The globalists have already identified her. We can use her. She can institute the misandrous policies that we're going to want to put in place, and so on. And if there's ever a population that pushes back and disagrees with government policy, the front line of activism will always be men. And so you can say, well, we had look these evil Nazi fascist fucking misogynists. We've got to get them. We've got to crush them, because what you're really saying is we're crushing opposition to globalization. But you can hide it behind the thing of, well, we're only protecting women. That's all we're doing. We're doing it for good reasons. And same as in the divorce court when men are financially destroyed into nothing. We're only doing it for the children. It's for the children. That's all it's for. It's a good reason. So it's that same smoke screen at the end. Anyway, so she spends 10 years in university, and the only job she has working for activist, anti-male, anti-Western society NGOs as a policy researcher, which is really a propagandist. That's code speak for a propagandist. So she's never had a job. She's only ever worked as a radicalized propagandist for NGOs. She even had a short gig working for the Democrat Party in the United States, for goodness sakes, when she'd have been, I suppose, 21, 22 years old, somewhere around there. Then she comes out of university. Again, she's never had a job or anything. She's just a radicalized leftist, and high IQ is not necessarily ideology is what drives you here. You're the talking points of all straight white males are Nazis. That's all she's got to go on. So she comes out radicalized. She's gifted a very safe seat in the Labor Party. Nobody could lose this seat, and she's gifted. So at age 28, she's gifted this seat in the federal British Parliament. And so goes straight into Parliament. Is instantly given quite senior roles within the Parliament. The day she walks in the door, she's given these radicalized propaganda type jobs as working for the senior ministers in a senior capacity. So she's being looked after straight away, and she's always been on the super pro globalization end of the scale. Imposing ideology by brainwashing boys as necessary, more brainwashing again. And she's always been like pushing this violence against women. It's epidemic proportions. We must stop it. Now, this violence against women scam has been going on for more than 30 years in the West. Every year it apparently gets worse, and every year more and more money and more resources are put towards combating this thing that apparently only ever gets worse, no matter how much effort and time. So we've got radicalized education system, radicalized tertiary education system, radicalized entertainment, radicalized Hollywood. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And yet this thing, this so-called misogyny only ever gets worse, no matter how much. And it's an incredible crescendo of effort has gone to stopping the supposed epidemic of misogyny, but it just never gets stopped. It only ever gets worse, which causes yet more and yet more. What they're really saying is it's got nothing to do with misogyny. It's got that we're still getting resistance against the globalist project. So we have to find new ways to attack the Western white Indigenous population in order to force them and bludgeon them into accepting, either totally shutting up, or accepting the globalist project. And if we have to use this device, the so-called, there's misogynists everywhere, there's Nazis everywhere, there's misogynists everywhere, there's swastika waving people there, Hitler is everywhere. It's that sort of thing. But really, it's code speak for, no, there are still people out there that aren't accepting the globalist project, and we must crush them. Accuse them of anything, it doesn't matter what we accuse them of. In the same way when they raid people's houses for supposedly racist comments, that they always magically find swastikas there. I mean, yeah, right, sure you do. So this is it. So these are the sort of people that, but these are the I guess it's important to understand that these people are not representatives of the voters. They're not there to produce sensible, reasonable, well thought out governmental solutions. Far from it. They are the foot soldiers, or the middle manager foot soldiers of the globalist project. That's all they are, and they'll invent any reason, tell any lie, any grotesque untruth in order to pretend that they're crushing the local population, paving the way for the globalist project, and they're doing it for some sort of altruistic purpose and reason, but that's nothing of the sort. And and you come across these sort of people I do anyway, on a fairly regular basis, and again, it always intrigues me how these middle level operatives in HR departments who are super radicalized through their high school and tertiary education system, and as soon as you give them a little bit of power, they go crazy, and it's sad to watch. But there you go. That's what's happening to the Western world. You've been with Tassus today, your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.